What's up, guys? Hackett1940 here, and we are back with another episode of Let's Talk NHL. And before I get into this video, I just wanted to wish you guys a Happy New Year. And I know I haven't posted in quite a few days, and that's only because obviously New Year's Eve and New Year's Day I was busy with stuff. And then the last couple of days I've been kind of sick. I really haven't been able to do much at all. And I just wasn't able to record. I would not have been able to commentate or talk for really anything. I wouldn't have been able to do it, but I'm finally better, and I wanted to do as many videos as I can. But speaking of New Year's, how about the Winter Classic, 2015 Winter Classic? That's what I want to talk about in this video. And first, I want to start off by saying, I guess I'll use the Capitals because they won. But first off, I wanted to start by saying the Winter Classic, it's lost a lot of I don't know what to call it. Excitement. I don't know if that's the word. Troy Brouwer, will leave him in there. He scored the game winner. But hold on, I just want to choose my lineup here. Niskanen. We'll use Carlson. He scored a pretty nice shootout goal against Florida when they that endless shootout. But it's lost a lot of excitement to it. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but it's just, it's been going on for 7 years now, and now they're bringing in the Stadium Series, which is, it used to be okay when they had when they had the Winter Classic and the occasional Heritage Classic, but now that they've thrown in the Stadium Series, which is another like 2 or 3 outdoor games a year. What did they have, like 4 last year? It's absolutely ridiculous. I hate the Stadium Series. It's such crap. I mean, even when the Rangers were in it, for me, they won both games, but to me it was just like, why are they doing this? It's, to me, you're ruining what the Winter Classic had and whatever, special. Man, I don't know what words I'm trying to use here, but the Winter Classic just had something to it. It was once a year, an outdoor game. Ovechkin, snipe it, there it is. But it was once a year. It was exciting. You really couldn't wait for it. A snowy day. But now they just, I don't know. They this year more than any year they hyped it up way too much. NHL Network, throughout the hour-long show, they probably mentioned the Winter Classic about 45 times. If you follow NHL on Instagram, holy crap, they're still posting pictures of the Winter Classic. What is today? Hold on, let me check. I actually don't know what day it is today. Well, it is actually the morning. It is actually Saturday morning, the 3rd. So 2 days after the Winter Classic, they're still posting tons of pictures of this Winter Classic. It's unbelievable, and they did so many before the Winter Classic. All the build up to it and during it. It's just, oh my god, it's just, could you promote this anymore? It's on a whole bunch of channels and commercials. It's just, man, and I mean, and the teams, too. I mean, nothing against the Blackhawks and the Capitals, but they've both had Winter Classics, and not to mention that there's no rivalry there. Obviously, it was a great game, don't get me wrong. It was a fantastic game. It was kind of ruined by the refs, and I'm not saying that the end result was ruined by the refs. The Capitals, they definitely deserve that win. You can't really say that the Blackhawks deserved to win that game because they had plenty of chances themselves. They had a lot of power plays, and they just couldn't convert. But I mean, it was a great game, but there's just no rivalry between those two teams. I mean, you look at the past Winter Classics. I mean, Blackhawks Detroit, that was cool. The Rangers Flyers, I mean, there's a rivalry there. What was it last year? Detroit, Toronto, there's a big rivalry there. Original 6 matchups. Even Boston Philly wasn't bad. But I mean, Washington and Chicago, I mean, I don't know about that. I'm just going to hop into another one here because I do have a lot more to say. But, man, I mean, there was no big rivalry there. It was just, I don't know, they just hyped it up way too much. And I actually saw I've seen it a lot, actually, that it actually had the worst ratings of any of the Winter Classics so far. So, I mean, yeah, as far as on TV, it had the worst ratings. So, that's not a bad thing. But and I one also thing, it's I guess I don't know if it's a minor thing or not. Whatever you want to call it. I guess they'll use the other team now, the Blackhawks. Oh, where are they? There they are. But what was I about to say? I think they worry way too much about the weather now, and the ice conditions. To me, again, you're losing what the Winter Classic was and what it had. Oh man, poor Versteeg. If you guys saw what happened to him, he got his hand. Um, he got a puck to the hand, and it looked like it really hurt. But like yeah, Crawford. They don't have them updated back in the lineup yet. But yeah, I mean, they focus way too much on the weather, It's like 40, 50 degrees when they do it, They make sure that the sun's not the guy's eyes. They make sure it's not going to snow or rain. If it does, they're going to delay it. It's like, I mean, just watch. But for those of you, people who may have just started watching the Winter Classic, or those of you, younger, kids, I don't know how old you guys are. But if you just started watching the Winter Classic, I've watched every single Winter Classic, even starting with the 2008 one in Buffalo. But just if you watched the Winter Classic, uh, this past one with Washington and Chicago, and it was the first or one of only a couple Winter Classics you've seen, and you haven't seen the original one between Buffalo and Pittsburgh, go watch the highlights of it. It was an unbelievable game. Um, Not because of the teams, not because of the game itself, but just the conditions. It was so cool to watch. It was snowy. The snow was falling. They had to work on the ice. The ice was a huge factor, especially when it went to the shootout. Guys were messing up because of the ice conditions. It was fantastic. That's what the Winter Classic's for. I just felt like watching. The all the analysts and everything before the game talking about it. They were just saying, "Oh well, the ice," or they had all like the weathermen there. They would cut to the weather guy like every 20 minutes and get a update on the weather report. It's like the point of the Winter Classic is it's an outdoor game, played outdoor. It's not like the indoor games where it's perfect ice conditions and perfect temperature and all that kind of stuff. That's the whole point. Is it's not like that. It's different. It's a different environment. It's like outdoors on the pond, and they've kind of steered away from that and tried to make it, I don't know, more, I don't know what to call it, staged, or I don't know, but it's like, it's like, don't, like, if the sun's in their eyes, like that's the point. If there's snow coming down, keep the game going. That's the point. It's I don't know, the Winter Classic. It's just I've lost all interest in it, really. It's just because now it's not interesting anymore because they don't, if there's snow or anything interesting like that, they delay the game until it stops. I remember the Ranger Flyer one. I'm not sure if they purposely moved it to the second because of that, but when the Rangers and the Flyers had their Winter Classic, it was actually January 2nd. It wasn't even on New Year's Day, and they actually delayed it from like 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock or something like that because of rain or snow or something. But there's that, and then there's way too much hype around it, and they have like 5 outdoor games a year now, which completely defeats the purpose. So the game as a whole, I think it was a great game. It was a very competitive game. The Capitals, all the penalty kills that they had against Chicago. And Ovechkin, one last thing I want to say before I end off this video. Alexander Ovechkin is a beast, and he's just so much fun to watch. I gained so much respect back for Alexander Ovechkin this year. I loved watching Ovechkin play from like 2006 or 2005 when he came into the league up until about 2010 or 2011, and to me that's where he kind of lost it. He kind of, once they put the C on him, it seemed like he wasn't as much fun to watch. Different coaching changes and him switching sides and just, last year he had like a minus 32 or something. He still got his 50 goals, but like 35 of them were on the power play. I just lost a lot of respect for him. Not as a goal scorer, but just as a superstar. He just seemed at that point like an overrated player. But I've gained a lot of respect back for Alexander Ovechkin, man. He is such an entertaining player to watch. I mean, he got that building on their feet, just just walking on and off the ice, waving his hands up, getting the crowd excited. And when he scored that goal, I mean, I was rooting for the Blackhawks, just because I'm a Rangers fan, and the Capitals are right neck and neck with the Rangers in the standings. But I mean, when Ovechkin scored that goal, that was just awesome. And I mean, you knew it was going to happen, just with all the build up in Ovechkin. You saw him with his earphones in the warm ups. He was getting pumped. You can tell, man, he lives for those moments, those exciting moments. The Olympics and the All Star games and all that kind of stuff. He lives for those moments and those entertaining moments. And man, he sure lived up that moment. And when he scored that goal, you knew it was coming. And he scored that goal, and that was just awesome. The celebration and everything, and you couldn't help but be happy for the guy. And he ended up winning the game. Broke his stick, and then Troy Brouwer spun around. I was really hoping it was gonna go to an overtime or a shootout, but Troy Brouwer, man, like 13 seconds left or whatever, I had to rip it by Crawford at the very end. Couldn't make one final save, but yeah. So that was my, I guess, rant sort of opinion on the Winter Classic. Bottom line is, I think I'm always going to watch it, but it definitely doesn't have what it used to have. I think it's just way too, staged now. I don't know if that's the word, but that's not the word I'm going to use. But yeah, so I'm sorry this one kind of long. I did have a lot to say on this topic. But yeah, if you guys have anything to say about the Winter Classic, what are your guys' thoughts on the Winter Classic? Is it do you like it more than recent years with all the specifications, I guess you could say, that they have now, or did you like the way they used to do it? Let me know in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.